They say humanity invented the microchip, that we discovered fiber optics, that stealth aircrafts are the product of brilliant engineers pushing the boundaries of science. But what if they're wrong? What if our greatest breakthroughs were never ours to begin with? In the aftermath of a mysterious crash in Roswell, New Mexico, something changed. Technologies once thought impossible suddenly became real. Could it be that we reverse-engineered alien technology? And if that's true, what else have they been hiding from us? Stay with me, because once you hear what I'm about to show you, you'll never look at your smartphone the same way again. In 1947, something fell from the sky in Roswell, New Mexico. At first, the U.S. military claimed it was a flying saucer, but within 24 hours, they changed the story. It was just a weather balloon. The narrative was sealed, the press silenced, and the world moved on. But behind closed doors, the U.S. government began constructing one of the most secretive and heavily guarded military installations on Earth, Area 51. And right around this time, something strange happened. Our technology began evolving at a pace never seen before in human history. Think about this. For thousands of years, mankind made slow, incremental progress. The wheel, fire, steam power. But post-1947, transistors, microprocessors, integrated circuits all arriving in a sudden wave. The fiber optic cable was officially invented in the 1950s, revolutionizing communication. By the 1960s, laser technology, which had previously only existed in theory, became reality. In just a couple of decades, humanity leapt from analog to digital. Coincidence? Or the result of access to technology not of this earth? Several military insiders and researchers began noticing this strange acceleration. Why did technologies with no clear development chain suddenly appear in military and industrial sectors? How did companies like Bell Labs and IBM make quantum leaps without precedent? Were they working alone, or were they simply the public face of a deeper, hidden operation? Now let's pull back the curtain and take a closer look at one of the most controversial theories in modern history, the alien reverse engineering of advanced technologies. Reverse engineering is the process of deconstructing a device or system to understand how it works, often to replicate or improve it. In the world of military espionage, it's standard practice. When a foreign jet crashes or is captured, specialists study every wire, bolt, and circuit to uncover its secrets. But what happens when the object in question, in foreign but extraterrestrial? According to multiple whistleblowers and defense insiders, that's exactly what happened in the late 1940s and beyond. After the Roswell incident, materials allegedly recovered from the crash site were not only stored, but actively studied. These weren't scraps of metal or withered debris, they were components with properties that defied conventional science. Lightweight metals stronger than titanium, fiber-like strands capable of transmitting data without degradation, and propulsion systems with no moving parts or fuel tanks. These were the blueprints of the future, but to the scientists in secret bunkers, they were puzzles from another world. One of the most well-known figures to speak out about this is Bob Lazar. In 1989, he claimed to have worked at a facility near Area 51 called S4, where he was assigned to study and attempt to replicate propulsion systems from a craft not made by human hands. He described a reactor powered by what he called element 115, which produced gravity waves and allowed the craft to move silently and instantly in any direction. Decades later, element 115, previously unknown to science, was officially added to the periodic table as moscovium. Skeptics argue that Lazar's story is convenient fiction, but details he provided years before they were public knowledge have been verified over time. For instance, he described biometric scanners at the facility that read bone density in the hand, once mocked as science fiction, but now known to have existed. How did he know? If Lazar was telling the truth, then the implication is staggering. Humanity has been working with technology so advanced, it may as well be magic. And instead of sharing this knowledge with the world, it's been locked away in black budget programs, studied in the shadows, But who controls it? And what have they done with it since? Bob Lazar wasn't alone. Over the decades, others have come forward, scientists, military personnel, aerospace engineers, each with chillingly similar claims. One of them was Bill House, a former mechanical engineer who said he worked with simulators based on alien craft built to train human pilots. He claimed that some of the systems he helped design couldn't have come from any known aerospace program. House even alleged that a being, referred to simply as J-Rod, was involved in the communication and interpretation of alien technology. His story, like Lazar's, was dismissed by many but never fully disproven. Another compelling case is that of Clifford Stone, a former U.S. Army sergeant. Stone testified that he was part of a specialized retrieval unit tasked with recovering downed extraterrestrial craft and, in some instances, biological entities. In interviews and declassified documents, Stone detailed missions where teams would be deployed within hours of a crash. These were not ordinary salvage operations, they were surgical, controlled, and immediately classified. According to Stone, there are at least a dozen different species cataloged by the military, and their technology is studied in facilities so secure, even presidents are denied access. Then there's the case of Dr. Eric Davis, a physicist who authored a series of papers for the Defense Intelligence Agency DIA. In one leaked memo, Davis reportedly briefed a Department of Defense official about the retrieval and analysis of off-world vehicles not made on this Earth. While the government never confirmed the authenticity, they never outright denied it either. Patterns begin to emerge when these testimonies are compared. Isolated whistleblowers often describe similar materials, metamaterials with layered atomic structures, propulsion systems that distort gravity, control panels responsive to thought. They often report an atmosphere of extreme secrecy, threats, and compartmentalization where even high-ranking officials only know fragments of the whole. What's most disturbing is the suggestion that, despite decades of analysis, these technologies remain poorly understood. If that's true, then we're not just studying alien machines, we're poking at something far beyond us, like chimps trying to reverse engineer a smartphone. And yet, fragments of this knowledge may have already seeped into our own inventions, disguised as human achievement. Let's step back and examine the broader timeline of technological evolution. For centuries, millennia, even human advancement followed a predictable curve. From stone tools to bronze, from steam to electricity, innovation moved slowly, building on prior knowledge over generations. But something shifted dramatically in the mid-20th century. It was as if someone had lit a fuse. Between 1947 and 1977, an explosion of new technologies emerged at a pace unmatched in any previous era. The transistor was invented in 1947, the very same year as the Roswell incident. It would go on to power computers, radios, and nearly every modern electronic device. Integrated circuits appeared just a decade later, shrinking entire rooms of hardware into tiny chips. In 1956, IBM introduced the first commercial hard drive. In 1960, the first working laser was demonstrated, another technology with no clear precursor, and fiber optics. Though the basic principle was theorized earlier, the breakthrough that made them commercially viable occurred in the 1970s, revolutionizing global communication. Each of these innovations represented a quantum leap. Not just improvement, but transformation. And in many cases, the inventors couldn't fully explain how they achieved what they did. Some cited sudden inspiration. Others claimed assistance from government contracts or black projects. Coincidentally, or perhaps not, many of these breakthroughs originated in institutions with ties to the U.S. Department of Defense. Take Bell Labs, for example, where several of these technologies were born. It has been suggested that Bell Labs was a front for reverse engineering alien materials provided by military channels. The same has been whispered about IBM, Hughes Aircraft, and even Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works division. In each case, innovations seem to appear out of nowhere, lacking the expected trail of prototypes or incremental development. So the question arises, were these companies brilliant, or simply chosen, hand-fed technologies from
above, both literally and hierarchically, then tasked with refining and commercializing them? Was the sudden digital revolution really a human triumph, or a carefully managed release of extraterrestrial knowledge, diluted just enough to keep the source hidden? Now, let's dig deeper. Because if these companies weren't just inventing, they were receiving, then who was giving them access? And why? Behind the glittering facade of Silicon Valley and defense innovation lies a darker, far more secretive world, one driven not by open research, but by classified operations and billion-dollar contracts. At the center of this shadowy nexus are companies like Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Boeing Phantom Works, and Raytheon, firms with decades-long relationships with U.S. intelligence agencies and the Department of Defense. These are not ordinary corporations. They operate deep within the military-industrial complex, with black budgets so vast and opaque that even congressional oversight is limited. One of the most legendary divisions in this ecosystem is Lockheed's Skunk Works. Officially known for developing cutting-edge aircraft like the U-2, SR-71 Blackbird, and the F-117 Nighthawk, Skunk Works is also rumored to be where recovered alien crafts are housed, studied, and reverse-engineered. Insiders have claimed that triangular anti-gravity crafts unacknowledged in any public program have been tested in desert airfields under complete secrecy. Some even point to the mysterious TR-3B, a supposed black project aircraft capable of silent, high-speed travel using magnetic propulsion systems. Then there's Project Aurora, long rumored to be a hypersonic aircraft developed in the 1980s, though its existence has never been confirmed. Multiple sightings, sonic booms, and strange flight patterns have been reported over the Nevada test range. Many believe Aurora isn't of our own design, or at least not entirely. It may be the result of decades spent attempting to adapt off-world technology into human-compatible systems. And what connects all of these programs? Money, billions of dollars funneled through special access programs, SAPs, and unacknowledged special access programs, USAPS. These are not your typical defense contracts. They operate on a need-to-know basis, protected by layers of compartmentalization. Engineers working on one component of a craft may never see the full vehicle. Even CEOs of the companies involved might not have full clearance. These programs don't just hide aircraft, they hide intent. If extraterrestrial tech is real, then who decides what becomes public? Who decides whether it's used for clean energy, medical breakthroughs, or weapons? And more importantly, who's benefiting from keeping it a secret? Despite the compelling testimonies and intriguing patterns, the scientific community remains largely skeptical. Mainstream experts argue that the advancements we've seen can be explained through incremental research, hard work, and human
ingenuity. After all, science thrives on trial and error, peer review, and open collaboration, elements seemingly absent from the secretive world of black projects. Critics point out that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. To date, no unambiguous, publicly verified alien technology has been presented. The materials allegedly recovered remain classified, leaving no way for independent verification. Skeptics also argue that the human mind is adept at pattern recognition even where none exists, leading to conspiracy theories fueled more by speculation than proof. Yet, even within the scientific community, some acknowledge gaps in our understanding. Phenomena like superconductivity, quantum entanglement, and dark energy are still not fully explained. Could some of these breakthroughs have been accelerated by external influences? The question remains open. Furthermore, whistleblowers like Bob Lazar, despite their controversial reputations, have introduced technical details that align with later scientific discoveries. For instance, Lazar's mention of element 115 preceded its official recognition. Critics dismiss this as coincidence or educated guessing, but it fuels the debate. The truth is, the absence of definitive proof doesn't automatically negate these theories. It may simply reflect the nature of the secrecy surrounding them. Black-budget projects thrive precisely because they operate beyond public scrutiny and scientific transparency. This tension between skepticism and belief creates a unique space for investigation. It pushes researchers and enthusiasts alike to question what we think we know, and what might be deliberately concealed. As we navigate this complex landscape, one thing is clear: whether alien technology is fact or fiction, the mystery itself drives innovation and curiosity, and that might be the most powerful force of all. Imagine for a moment that it is true that our most advanced technologies stem not from human genius alone, but from secrets stolen beyond the stars. What would that mean for our understanding of history, science, and ourselves? If the microchips inside your smartphone are inspired by alien engineering, then humanity's rise to technological power has been fueled by forces far beyond our comprehension. The implications stretch far beyond gadgets and weapons. If extraterrestrial knowledge has been hidden for decades, it could explain why some of the world's most pressing problems, clean energy, disease cures, space travel, remain unsolved or underdeveloped. Are we intentionally holding back because we don't fully understand the technology, or because it is controlled by select groups with their own agendas? This revelation could shatter long-held beliefs about human progress. It suggests that we are not the sole architects of our future, but beneficiaries or prisoners of a cosmic secret. The elite groups controlling this technology could wield immense power, shaping geopolitics and economics
in ways the public never suspects. Moreover, this could be just the beginning. If humanity has been retrofitting alien technology for decades, what advanced capabilities are still hidden, waiting to be unleashed? Anti-gravity propulsion, quantum computing far beyond today's standards, or even methods of interstellar travel might already exist in secret labs. On a deeper level, realizing we are not alone and that our civilization is partially built on extraterrestrial blueprints could redefine our place in the universe. It challenges us to rethink our history, our achievements, and our destiny. Are we ready to face the truth? Or will the shadows continue to conceal what lies beyond our understanding? Take a moment to think about everything you've just heard. For decades, the story of human progress might have been carefully rewritten behind closed doors. The technology you use daily, the internet, advanced computing, communication networks, could be part of a hidden legacy handed down from beings far older and wiser than us. What does it say about our future if the knowledge to solve energy crises, disease, or even space travel is already out there, locked away in secret facilities? How does that change your view of history and the people who control these secrets? It's not just about alien technology. It's about power, control, and the narrative we are allowed to believe. It's about questioning everything we've been told and opening our minds to possibilities beyond the official story. If humanity truly reverse engineer alien technology, what else might they be hiding? And how far are we from uncovering the full truth? The answers may be closer than we think, but only if we dare to look beyond the surface. If this exploration into secret technologies has opened your eyes, there's so much more waiting beneath the surface. The hidden history of our technological rise is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. To uncover more secrets, challenge the narratives, and question what's really happening behind the scenes, make sure to subscribe and join the journey. Every week, we dive deep into mysteries, conspiracies, and truths that mainstream channels won't touch. Don't miss out on exclusive content that could change the way you see the world and yourself. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and get ready to explore the unknown with us. Because when the truth is hidden in the shadows, curiosity is the light that will guide us forward.